It was television's night to shine at the 77th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards. They were in Los Angeles last night. And get the shows in their first season. Yeah. Those are really the big winners here. Apple's The Studio. It picked up a record-breaking 13 wins. That is the most ever by a first-season comedy. And it included Best Comedy Series and also a win for Seth Rogen for Best Actor in a Comedy Series.
And another newcomer, The Pit, took home 3 drama
Both
awards,
great shows,
beating out fan favorites like Severance and White Lotus. Star Noah Wyle picking up his first Emmy, if you can believe that, because the last time he was nominated, yes, was 26 years ago for a different medical show you might have heard of, ER. You remember that? Well, there was a massive ovation as well for Stephen Colbert, who won his first Emmy for The Late Show. That, of course, comes amidst CBS announcing it is being canceled next year.
For more, let's bring in entertainment journalist and pop culture expert Brian Balthazar. He's got all the highlights for us. Brian, good morning. Great to see you. So, studio, most wins, but who else had big nights?
Right. Well, it was also a good night for Hacks. Jean Smart coming back again. She's no stranger to the award stage, but I think one we hadn't seen was seeing Hannah Einbinder, who was a supporting actress on that show as well. Her first time getting an Emmy. What's interesting is we have 2 shows that are about Hollywood winning big time at the Emmys. But what's interesting also is that The Bear, which we're used to talking about, was shut out. Also, usually gets a lot of nominations and equally usually gets a lot of wins. But, it's hard to know whether this is just the fact that, we love new things or the fact that it was in a comedy category, as it always has been, may have gotten a little fatigue there. I also think Adolescence was something we were talking about all last night. Limited series on Netflix, known for its really unique production style, this one-take style that it had, taking home 6 Emmys. And Owen Cooper, that young boy there, the youngest ever winner for supporting actor in a limited series and the youngest Emmy winner in over 40 years. So that's a big one. But I love the first-time winners. You talked a little bit about Stephen Colbert, but I don't know if you've seen the show Somebody Somewhere, but Jeff Hiller took the stage and was just hilarious, brilliant, heartfelt. I mean, it's a great show if you haven't seen it, and his acceptance speech was great. Kristen Milioti was fantastic. But I want to talk about the fundraising thing. I don't know if you have an opinion about the fundraising thing. But, throughout the course of the show, Nate Bargatze said he was going to deduct $1,000 from that $100,000 donation to Boys and Girls Club for every time the seconds went over. The problem is this whole kind of bit took up more time than some of the speeches did. By the end of the show, there was 0 left. So he donated $250,000 and CBS donated $100,000. So the Boys and Girls Club walked away with $350K. I'm curious to know whether you guys thought that was a hit or a miss.
The way you just put it is interesting, that it took up more time than this.
It backfired, but it ended up raising more money, right, as opposed to less. So maybe this was a win for everybody involved.
Yeah, cool.
That was the only way you could do this. You can't do this bit without having it built in that they're going to get money. Otherwise, it's a real fail. But we have to remember the things that we walk away remembering are the speeches.
Yeah.
That's what we remember, the passionate speeches, the funny speeches, the tears. So I understand. I think it was kind of a funny bit. Maybe we could have checked in a little bit less.
Yeah. I also think authenticity just plays so well when you're talking about those acceptance speeches. So talk to me a little bit more about the big moments, right, Brian? Like, we know the star power, people coming out to the red carpet. What other moments last night really stuck out to you?
Well, I think the audience response to Stephen Colbert was palpable. Even at the beginning of the show as a presenter, the chants of Stephen, also the irony that this was broadcast on CBS, which had just recently canceled him and his show. And he made jokes about that and the fact that this was his first Emmy win. Obviously, you have to wonder the connection there because there's a real passion for him and his show and his messaging, and this is Hollywood. And so I think that was powerful. As I said before, Jeff Hiller, I don't know if we have video of him. He's just a great performer in this show, Somebody Somewhere. And he got up and he said, for years, I've been like, world, I want to be an actor. And the world was like, well, maybe computers. That was kind of his trajectory. I just think there was a lot of enthusiasm from some of the unexpected winners. And so many times there's one show monopolizing everything. And there was a little bit of that, but I like that there were some surprises in there and there were no bad winners,
Yeah, it felt like a good year for TV. Like in watching it last night, I'm like, wow, there was a lot I love this year. Brian, always fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.